For months, the global music industry has been watching South Korea closely, not because of a chart-topping single or a surprise collaboration, but because of a growing sense that something unprecedented is quietly being prepared. BTS, the most influential music group of the 21st century, is officially returning as a full 7-member group. Their upcoming album, ARIRANG, already carries symbolic weight. Named after Korea's most iconic folk song, the album has been framed not merely as a comeback, but as a statement about identity, legacy, and cultural continuity. Yet, one rumor has begun to eclipse all others. Multiple media reports, government planning leaks, and industry whispers suggest that BTS may launch ARIRANG with a massive open-air concert at Gwanghwamun Square, the historic heart of Seoul. If confirmed, this would not only be BTS's boldest artistic decision to date, it could become the largest cultural music event in Korean history, and possibly the most watched live performance the world has ever seen. Gwanghwamun Square is not just another public venue, it is where Korea's past, present, and future intersect. Situated between Gyeongbokgung Palace and the Sejong Center for the Performing Arts, the square has historically been reserved for moments of national importance, political movements, cultural commemorations, and state-level celebrations. Performances held here are rarely entertainment first, they are symbolic acts. This is precisely why the speculation has exploded. If BTS chooses Gwanghwamun Square, it would signal that ARIRANG is not being positioned as a conventional K-pop release. Instead, it would frame the comeback as a cultural event on a national scale, aligning BTS not only with pop stardom, but with Korea's historical narrative itself. For a group that once sang about youth frustration and personal dreams, this would represent a full-circle evolution, from idols to cultural ambassadors. One of the strongest pieces of circumstantial evidence fueling the rumor comes not from entertainment media, but from local government discussions. In recent weeks, Seoul city officials have reportedly begun internal preparations regarding large-scale crowd management in central Seoul for early 2026. While no artist was officially named, the timing aligns precisely with BTS's announced comeback window. Korean netizens were quick to connect the dots. This is not unprecedented. Similar logistical planning preceded BTS's Busan concert in 2022, which drew over 100,000 attendees on site and millions more online. That event, initially framed as a one-time performance, later became recognized as a major cultural milestone tied to national promotion. The difference this time? Gwanghwamun Square is far more symbolic and far more visible to the world. When BTS performed in Busan, it was already considered historic, but the group's circumstances have changed dramatically since then. They are no longer active idols balancing group schedules with individual growth. They are veterans, artists who have completed military service, released solo projects, and re-emerged with renewed authority over their narrative. An ARIRANG concert at Gwanghwamun would elevate that transformation. Unlike stadium concerts, an open square performance carries a different message. It suggests accessibility, unity, cultural ownership. It tells the world, this is not just for fans, this is for everyone watching Korea. And in the age of global live streaming, everyone truly means everyone. Another key element driving speculation is the confirmed partnership between BTS and global streaming platforms. Industry analysts have already reported that BTS's comeback activities will include a major documentary release and global broadcast elements. While details remain limited, insiders suggest that at least one live performance will be streamed internationally. This raises a crucial question. If BTS were to choose a venue meant to represent Korea to the world, where would that be? The answer, many believe, is Gwanghwamun Square. A globally live-streamed concert from the symbolic center of Seoul would function as both a music event and a soft power broadcast, projecting Korean culture, history, and modern identity simultaneously. For Netflix or any global platform, it would be irresistible. The album title ARIRANG itself has become central to the theory. ARIRANG is more than a song. It is a cultural artifact, recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage of humanity. It represents longing, resilience, separation, and reunion, all themes that mirror BTS's own journey through hiatus, military service, and return. Fans have noted that BTS has never used such a culturally loaded title casually. Choosing ARIRANG suggests intention, purpose, context. And context matters. Releasing ARIRANG in a standard concert hall would feel almost contradictory to its meaning, but launching it at Gwanghwamun Square, where Korean history is physically embedded in the space, would align the music with its cultural roots in a way no stage production could replicate. If the concert happens, experts predict it would not resemble a typical BTS show. Instead of explosive, choreography-driven sets alone, the performance could incorporate traditional Korean musical motifs blended with modern production, visual storytelling referencing Korean history and modern identity, a carefully curated set list designed to reflect BTS's past, present, and future. This would position the concert less as a tour stop and more as a cultural ceremony, one that happens to be led by the world's biggest pop group. For South Korea, this would be a landmark moment in cultural diplomacy. For BTS, it would mark their final transition from global pop icons to historical figures within Korean cultural history. International media has already begun framing BTS's return as one of the most significant music events of the decade. If a Gwanghwamun concert is confirmed, the coverage would likely extend far beyond entertainment sections into political, cultural, and economic analysis. Because this would not just be about music, it would be about how a nation presents itself to the world through art, and how 7 artists came to represent that voice. What makes the Gwanghwamun Square theory remarkable is not just the scale of the rumor, but how quickly it spread across continents. Within hours of Korean language reports hinting at large-scale preparations in central Seoul, international fan communities ignited. On Reddit, X, formerly Twitter, Weverse comment sections, and fan-run Discord servers, the same question kept appearing in different languages. Is BTS about to do something unprecedented? Armies in the United States framed it as a soft power moment. European fans described it as BTS becoming history, not just artists. Southeast Asian fans spoke of pride, calling it Korea speaking to the world through BTS. The absence of official confirmation did not slow the momentum. If anything, it intensified it. Because BTS has trained its audience over the years to read between the lines, and this time, the lines were unusually loud. Historically, BTS comebacks have followed recognizable patterns: teaser drops, concept photos, countdowns, and carefully staged media appearances. ARIRANG has not followed that formula. Instead, fans have noticed what feels like strategic silence. There are no flashy spoilers, no viral dance challenges, no sudden flood of content, just controlled, deliberate signals, each one heavier than the last. This has led many fans to believe that HYB and BTS are intentionally reframing expectations. Not hype first, not algorithm first, but meaning first. And meaning demands space. That space, many believe, is Gwanghwamun Square. It is impossible to separate BTS from South Korea's global image. Over the past decade, the group has been repeatedly cited by economists and policymakers as a major contributor to Korea's cultural exports. Their influence has extended into tourism, language learning, diplomacy, and even foreign policy discourse. This is why the possibility of a Gwanghwamun concert carries political weight. Performances at this location require coordination that goes beyond entertainment agencies. Security, crowd control, broadcast permissions, and public safety planning all involve multiple levels of government. The very fact that such preparations are rumored to be underway suggests something extraordinary. Cultural analysts have pointed out that a BTS performance at Gwanghwamun would function as an unofficial national showcase, similar in symbolic value to an Olympic opening ceremony. But unlike state-produced events, this one would be led by artists. That distinction matters. In Korean media discourse, a subtle shift has occurred. BTS is no longer referred to merely as a group or even global stars. Increasingly, they are described as a cultural institution, a living, evolving representation of modern Korea. This framing changes everything. Institutions are expected to mark moments, not chase trends. They do not simply release music, they contextualize it. By choosing ARIRANG as an album title and potentially choosing Gwanghwamun as a stage, BTS would be aligning themselves with this institutional role. They would not be performing at Korea, they would be performing as Korea. While this is a group comeback, one name consistently appears at the center of fan speculation: Jungkook. As the youngest member, Jungkook represents both continuity and renewal. He debuted as a teenager and returns now as a fully formed global artist with solo achievements that rival industry veterans. Fans have observed that Jungkook's musical identity, emotional, genre-fluid, technically refined, aligns closely with what ARIRANG symbolically represents: tradition meeting modernity. This has fueled speculation that Jungkook may carry a significant vocal or narrative role in the comeback performance, not as a soloist overshadowing the group, but as a bridge between BTS's past and its future.